So let's have a look at the data you've got in front of you. Now, what we've got here is some information. Now, if you were doing your NEA or you were doing any project, or this was an A-level question, you need to be able to break it apart and look at the relationships between the big data, all right? So first of all here, we know that Raymond Chambers owns an Irish dancing school with his sister Jennifer, a car valet. So she also has a business, she's a car valet, all right? Now, with this in mind, I'm going to draw my nodes, and I'm going to say name. So you have the property, all right? And what is the name? I'm just going to say Raymond Chambers. Now, we also have another person here, Jennifer. So I'm going to put her name. Jennifer. All right. What's the key bit of data within that between those two people? What do they do? What do they both do? They both own an Irish dancing school. So, all right. If I put in here Chambers Irish Dance School, all right, the relationship there would be that they both own that, all right? So they both own that that school. Make sense? So that's that first relationship done. Now, the next thing it says is, so I'm going to draw a line through that because I've sorted that one out. You don't need to do that in your exam, it's just so that this video, you can watch it back.
Did you not include the sibling relationship between, like, directly?
You could do. You could put, alright, bidirectional, and you could say sibling. Alright. But the next relationship I've got is Raymond employs Leanne, a teaching assistant. Alright. So notice it's me that employs. I didn't say Chambers Irish Dance School employs. I said Raymond employs. So what I would then say is I draw a relationship that says employs. Alright, so Raymond employs Leanne. So I'm going to put name Leanne, a teaching assistant. Now that, all right, there, that type of relationship, I'm going to separate here because it's what she does. So her occupation is a teaching assistant. So I've got Raymond employs Leanne, a teaching assistant. Ray also employs Kate, who is a choreographer. So I'm going to say here, again, employs name Kate. And what sort of relationship am I going to have there? Again, it's the occupation. And it's choreographer. And it then says Jennifer is engaged to Jim. So I'm going to put up here name Jim. And this time I'm doing a bi-directional arrow because it would be a bit creepy if if she thought she was engaged but he didn't realise. So I'm going to say there engaged. But then it also says here, right, The reason why I've got this relationship, because I could also do other things. Like me, I'm a school teacher, but I also teach an Irish dance school in my spare time. That's actually true about this thing, the one thing anyway. But Kate also is a school teacher, so she can have many, alright, I'm going to say there, school teacher. So can you see how those relationships work? There's no exact science to it, but you've got to be able to pull out those key relationships when so like here, alright, I'm doing something, I'm employing, that's why that arrow's gone that way. I'm employing Kate, that's why the arrow's gone that way. Alright? There's a loose relationship here because this person can have multiple jobs, alright? It's not specific, alright? Here, there's a bidirectional thing because that relationship is the same. We are siblings. We both own that dance school, alright? So we own that object. So hopefully this is making a bit of sense. But there's a bi-directional one here because when they are engaged, one person's engaged to another. Alright? So hopefully that helps you kind of pull that apart a little bit. Now on the back, there is a little bit of a more detailed one. Alright? So on the back, alright? So this is a bit bigger. So it says, Mr. Chambers is employed by Aylesbury Grammar School. He manages Mr. Vackelpaw. Obviously, I manage the computer science department, so I manage Mr. Vackelpaw. Mr. Chambers and Mr. Vackelpaw both teach computer science. Mr. Dimelo, I should say, and Mr. Ash teach design technology and engineering. Alright, so excuse my grammar there. They are also employed by Aylesbury Grammar School. Mrs. Wilkinson teaches food and nutrition and is employed by Aylesbury Grammar Schools. So you can see there's going to be a lot of relationships that say employed by, yeah? Mr. Chambers manages Mr. Dimelo, Mr. Ash and Mrs. Wilkinson, because I manage the DT faculty, alright? And Mr. Chambers owns an Irish dance school in his spare time. Have a go at this, and then we'll do it together in a minute, and we'll write that down in a separate video.